Hello, Flosstube. After having this phone for, I don't know, more than a year, I just figured out if you have it in video mode and you wave frantically at it, it will start recording. Did you know that? Similarly, I've had a used car for like 5 years. I bought it used. I cleaned it out really good last weekend and discovered like 5 features I didn't realize it had. I am not observant. Okay, hello Flosstube. I'm Wendy. This is A Stitch in the Matrix. I am Matrix Stitcher here on YouTube and Wendy Merganser on Instagram, although I've been very bad about posting there. Sorry. So this is a YouTube channel mostly about cross-stitching and sometimes with other random things thrown in there. Welcome if you're new. So happy to see you. Hope you'll stay. And if you've been coming back over and over again, I really appreciate you. Can't believe you want to. So, as usual, I have no idea what day it is. Let's look. It is Sunday, September 7th, 2025. Before I forget, because I'm clearly very forgetful, let's do a giveaway. We did a giveaway I did a giveaway last episode for my 1-year Flosstubeversary. And so I had to look at one of my videos from the last time I did this to see how. So I went to a random comment picker on the internet, and I picked 2 winners of a $30 123 Stitch gift card. I am not going to comment on your comment. If you won, I will announce your names here, and then I'll also put your names, your YouTube handles in the show notes. So please, if you win, reach out to me. Just email me, please, and give me your email address, and I will be able to send you the gift card from 123 Stitch. If you happen to have won and you are in a country that 123 Stitch is not shipping to, or there's customs issues, please let me know and we will work something out, because I want this to be fun and not a customs nightmare for anyone. So without further ado, the first winner was Otimo8388. Congratulations. And the second winner is JoniJ794. Congratulations. So again, please email me with your email address, the one that you want to receive the gift card into, etc., etc. And we'll go from there. So congratulations again. Do I have any other announcements? Yes. A lovely friend of mine, Donna, who's in the UK, has been hosting Zoom Stitchy meetups pretty much monthly, and we decided to set some dates a few months ahead so that folks can have time to work us into your schedules if you want to join us. So the next 3 months we're going to be meeting on September 27th, October 18th, and November 22nd. And that will be 5 p.m. UK time. And please just use the Googles and figure out what time that is, because pretty soon, starting in October, all the countries will be changing their times differently. I think the UK's daylight savings time ends in October. The United States, it ends in November. And who knows what the rest of the world is doing. Just use Google, they'll tell you. So 5 p.m. UK time, those are all 3 Saturdays. So if you're interested in joining us, just send me an email is easiest, or you can message me on Instagram. Just tell me you are interested, and I'll send you the little links. And the links are easy. You don't need to have any accounts or anything. You just click the link and boom, puts you right in there. So everyone is welcome. It's very informal. We're just sitting and stitching. And you don't have to stitch anything in particular. You really don't even have to stitch. I mean, you could knit or crochet or paint. I don't know. Work on your car. So anyway, we would love to see you. Okay, let's get to the stitching. So, since my last video, I think I think my last video was shortly before the Midsummer Stitch, hosted by Lindy Stitches, which is always so much fun. Unfortunately, this time I got sick right in the middle of Midsummer Stitch, and without going into any gory details, there's something wrong with my esophagus, and when it flares up, it feels like heart attack. But my heart is fine. Anyway, I was miserable for definitely that whole Sunday night, and then the following week it was really bad, and I did go to the doctor. And so the good news is I'm not going to die. I mean, I will eventually, hopefully when I'm done all my cross-stitch projects. So I will not die for 300 years. And whatever it might be of the several things it could be is very, very treatable. So I just have to wait for a long time to get appointments for testing. So yay, American healthcare system. But it's okay. So anyway, I was so sick, and the thing was, I was stitching on Extraordinary Birds when I got sick, and my brain decided to associate Extraordinary Birds with being sick, and I couldn't touch it for a long time. But I love that pattern, so I did work on it a little bit, but I am woefully behind. So anyway, here is the completed Extraordinary Birds. Oh my God, this is such a cool pattern, right? So this is everybody now, how it's gonna be. I'll get you in close there. And do you have any idea how excited I was that there's pigeons? I have a newfound love of pigeons. So I was working on the peacock that night. And, oh, I need my little board here. One moment. Good Lord. I have a small board and a gigantic board. I do not have a normal size board. Okay. All right. I'll show you what I was working on, and then I'll back up and show it to you. It's so big! Okay, so I finished the peacock. I skipped ahead several parts because I was so excited for the peacock. Oh my God, it came out so good. And so I've been trying to stitch, I'm stitching most of the pattern, the background and stuff, over 2 threads over 2 fabric threads. But then I decided to do the birds over 1. But then with the peacock's tail, number 1, I was really struggling. That's really a lot of stuff going on in that tail. And it occurred to me it might look fluffier if I did the tail over 2 stitches. So that's what I did. I think it came out good. And actually, though, there's like black in between the feathers on his tail. And when it occurred to me to do the tail over 2, I had already started the black over 1. So I did all the black in there over 1, which hopefully, I think it kind of gives it some depth. And then I did the rest over 2. And then I thought, because I already did the cassowary the same kind of way, I did his legs and head over 1. And I was like, well, now I've done 2 birds. I got to like balance it out on the other side with another bird. And then oops, oh dear. Technical difficulties. That was before she'd even released that gigantic, I forget what he is. He's a big mamma jamma. So I'm going to do him, his legs and face, I'll do over 1. And then the rest of him I'll do over 2. Thank goodness, because that's a lot to do for 1. All right, let me get this back on here. I'm not done showing it to you. Oh, and the fabric is, it's the called for fabric. It's Be Stitch Me Sandbar, and 32 count. And I also did, I cheated because this was already in the Q-Snap, so I skipped ahead and did these little guys. And I must say, this is now my favorite part of the entire piece. That is the most ridiculous bird I have ever seen. And he's called a Greater Lofarina, if I'm pronouncing it right. Here's the whole thing. And so I have to show you. I'll put up some pictures. I took pictures as I was stitching the Greater Lofarina. So I actually, when I was stitching, I did the branch, of course, over 2, and then I forgot, and so I stitched almost this entire little guy over 2, and then I had to rip him out and redo him. But I didn't even mind. I laughed the whole time I stitched that, because here's some pictures. It looks ridiculous at every stage of development. He has different haircuts. At one point, he looked like one of the Beatles. Oh, that is my favorite bird. I think I have to stitch him somewhere else, too, to... Here he is again. Oh my God, he's so silly. Okay. Maybe I'll stitch him on a t-shirt or something and no one will have any idea what it is, but I will do it. Okay, so there's Extraordinary Birds. Sorry for the loud paper sounds. And then, so, while I was sick, so I couldn't bear to look at Extraordinary Birds, but I really wanted to cross-stitch. And it turns out, I pulled out another older, not an older whip, but I pulled out a whip. And this one is mostly like, it's so much block stitching, and it was just so soothing and easy to stitch. It was like therapy. This is Teresa Kogut's Moonlit, and this was a Patreon pattern from April of this year, and I'm doing it in, I just added some silks. I just found silks that look like they would go, well, actually there's silk and cotton. There's all kinds of random threads. But I love this pattern so much. And Teresa Kogut, thank you so much, because, I mean, weirdly enough, like, stitching this pattern really made me feel better. So here it is. I made quite a lot of progress on it. And this is on another Bestitch Me fabric, which I'll have to look up in a second. And I think it's 32 count, two threads over 2 threads, 2 over 2. So I got a lot done because you can outline and then just fill in. I really enjoyed it. I really like how the moon came out. It looks better even on camera too. Let's see, what fabric is this? Does anyone remember? Right, it's in here. Coconut Shell by Bestitch Me, 32 count. Her fabric is so nice to stitch on. So I think here's all the threads. It's like a wild combination. Oh, I had to substitute threads from when I picked it, and I don't remember why. But anyway, I'm using the lighter blue as this Forbidden Fiber Co. So that's a cotton thread, but there's a lot of silks as well. Like this is, oh, I remember why. So I have some Karen Water Lilies that were perfect. But then I also had Karen Wildflowers, and those are, I didn't realize, they're like a very thin pearl cotton. So they were way too thick. And so I ended up finding some more threads. Last minute changes. So there's that one. And then, what did I do then? Then at some point, now I think we're getting out of order, but I pulled out Trash Panda again by the Artsy Housewife. I can't tell if he's yelling or singing. He's probably singing about the delightful trash he just found. So I'm stitching this on, oh, I always forget if it's one or the other. Just a moment and I'll tell you. Or maybe I won't. Did I write it down? I wrote it on the pad. Okay, it's by Nicholas Flamel, who's the dyer, and this is like they sell them in groups. So this was like a pack of 4 different fabrics. So the fabrics weren't named individually. So the whole pack was witches. I have a question mark. What is wrong with me? Why can't I just write stuff down? But it's a 36 count. It's like witches something. I'll put it at the bottom here. It's really nice. I'm using it in several different pieces. And I think I just worked on this one night. Hold on a second. I need that other thing. Okay. So I just did the T. T is for trash. I love how this fabric looks. And did I say it's 36 count? And I think, even though it's 36 count, let's have a look. Oh, I'm doing it it's 2 threads. So 36 count is that weird in-between fabric where, depending on the fabric and the coverage you want, sometimes 2 threads looks good and sometimes 1 thread looks good. And this particular one, I like a lot of coverage too. So I did it with 2. So that one's very fun. Okay, we'll just keep piling stuff up here until it falls down. Oh, next I got out a much older one, older whip. I was just poking around looking for something different to work on. And this is another Teresa Kogut. This is Remember Me. And she did this one in memory of her dad, who was a gardener. And I am stitching mine in memory of my dad, who was a gardener. Right. I'm stitching in memory of my mom, who was a gardener. My dad does not garden. Okay. What fabric do you suppose this is? This is 40 count. Oh, what's in here? I thought I was organized and ready for this. I was not. I do know it's 40 count, and it's not a hand-dyed. It's like, look here, I have a little card. 40 count Newcastle in the color Aqua. And I'm stitching 2 threads over 2. So let's talk about fabric. So sometimes you'll hear people say that the fabric is really tight. So like when designers dye the fabric, of course there's a lot of washing and soaking and rinsing, and so it tends to shrink the fabric just a tiny bit. And so you'll find, like, picture this plus whatever they're doing with their fabrics to make those beautiful colors. It makes the holes in the fabric tighter. And so 40 count, picture this plus, really feels like 46. So this was interesting to me that this is 40 count, but it's like from the manufacturer, so it's their, I don't know, I don't know how they do anything. I'm just going to make stuff up. But they're not, after the fact, dyeing it and shrinking it even further. So 40 count is really 40 count. And I can almost see this without glasses, and I could use 2 threads. So that was exciting. Because sometimes I struggle to see 40 count. So anyway, I showed you the pattern, right? So here is, oh, wait a minute. I remembered. Don't think I'm going to remember this all the time. But I remembered to take a before picture. So here is how far I had gotten before. I may not always remember, but this time I did. And so here's where I am now. So I worked down here. I had this flower in, and then I have to get in closer. I put some little bugs here. I'm changing the pattern a tiny bit. There's like some random circles there. So I put little bugs, and I put this flower in. And this is, I stole him from, I'll show you this again in a second. This is from Sprouting Lupine, Golden Hour Nature Walk, because I wanted to add some cicadas. So this is the cicada, it's like an empty shell when they're changing into this guy. So I took that pattern, and it was like the exact same size and everything. I didn't have to adjust the size. So that's what that is. If you live anywhere that has cicadas and you were a little kid who was inquisitive, you might have found these hanging on the sides of trees. I love that. Love how it came out. It came out so cute. And then I'm going to put a cicada over here on this side. This is a praying mantis that I designed. So I'm changing up I should have said, I'm changing up the pattern. Obviously changing the colors to be brighter colors, because my mom loved bright colors, especially the primary colors. And then I'm adding in like stuff she loved in her garden, like the praying mantis. And I'll eventually have to put toads in, and I'm going to put bats in because she loved bats. And so I'll show you the pattern again. So Teresa's pattern is very muted color-wise. And I'm going to put toads at the bottom where that urn is. I'm going to put toads at the bottom there, around the urn. And then some of those, see that line of birds in the middle will be, I'll add an owl in there because owls were her favorite. When I was stitching, I got more of these flowers. I think I'm done with these flowers here. So right here is the house. So I'm ready actually to move the Q-snap and I'll probably go up here because I'm excited to put the cicada in. And I'm going to change its colors from the pattern. I'll use the pattern, but I'm going to change the colors to look more like this looks more like the 17-year locust that we would get in Baltimore. So I'm really excited with how it's coming out, and it was fun to pick it up again and keep working on it. Okay, so there's that guy. Then Jen from JensFiberWeb and Julie from Julie in Stitches 16, they are doing a SAL for September called Gonna Be Owl Right SAL. And I think one or both of them was going to start 100 owls. And I was like, I have 100 owls, and I barely touched it. So I was very excited. On September 2nd, I got this out, and it was barely started. So I took a picture of where I started it. So I did like maybe one thread in it. And here is, sorry, I'm doing this all out of order. This is what the pattern looks like. This is by Owl Forest Embroidery. And so I'm working on owl number 1 is this guy right here. I think it's a long-eared owl. And if you're interested, this is a free pattern. It's still there because I went and I had to look something up. If you go to the Owl Forest Embroidery website, and this is a free pattern. They have a lot of free patterns, including, what's the other popular one? There's a Alice in Wonderland. These were stitch-alongs, and now they're just free patterns. Not just, I mean, look how big this pattern is. And you get information on the, do you get information on the owls? Or she just says what kind of owl it is. I don't know why I said you get information. If you Google them, you will. So anyway, I did buy from her. She sells her own brand of overdyed threads, and I bought the thread pack. If you have never or rarely used overdyed threads, I know it can be a big investment, and lots of patterns, they look just fine in like DMC or I think CXE is the more easily obtainable in other countries. These patterns look great in those, but if you want to do something in overdyes and make it count, these threads are really nice, and they really add something to the, I'll show them to you. They really add something to the pattern, so you get more bang for your buck with an Owl Forest. So they come in like little, they're so cute. They come like this in little, of course, what I pick? I picked the white one that's not overdyed. But they come all bundled up, all cute. And she gives you a little, you know, one of those things. So I'm taking my time winding them up. I'm just winding them up as I need a color. But here's another one. Look how beautiful these are. They're really nice modeling. So I just have them all shoved in a bag right now until I get them all wound up. I bet you're hoping I'll show you my stitching. Oh, the light just got darker in here. Sorry, the sun has gone behind a cloud. Okay, so here is, I'm almost finished with the first piece. I just have to do those little blue flowers. And I was up to like 1:30 last night and I just couldn't do it. Hold on, I'm going to cough. Be glad you missed that one. That was quite a cough. Okay. Woo! There's a lot of forest fires in the area, and I think all the way up into Canada, and it's very smoky today. Okay, I'm back. So I'm almost finished. I just have to do all the little flowers around the wreath and on these guys here. So the flowers or the plants in the middle here, that one thread is like really variegated. So that's one color thread, which is kind of interesting. I really love how he came out, and I love how she leaves a lot of holes in the patterns for the fabric to kind of shine through. Oh, and I didn't say, the fabric is Fortnite fabric, so sadly you cannot get this any longer. The name is It's About Time. Time like T-H-Y-M-E. And so, oh, that's actually a really accurate color right there. That's pretty close. And it's 32 count. And I had a moment of fear because, you know, I bought all this stuff. I started this right when I started cross-stitching again, and I made some mistakes occasionally, like not buying enough thread, because if you have a bigger fabric count, sometimes you need more thread. So I was a little panicky, but she did her piece on 32 count, and then she sold the thread, so I should be safe. 10 years from now when I finish this pattern. So anyway, there's this one. So excited. Thank you so much, Jen and Julie, for giving me the kick in the pants I needed to pick that pattern up again, because I'm really enjoying it. And I'm not going to say something like I'm going to try to do, you know, an owl a month or something, because we all know, if you've been here, you know that I say I'm going to do something and then I don't. So we're not going to talk about that. Okay, pardon me while I pile. Then, okay, I had 2 new starts because I don't have any self-control. The first one, a friend of mine told me that August 8th, is it August 8th? Yeah, August 8th, at least she told me, was World Cross Stitch Day. And I just believed her. And so I thought, oh, there was a pattern I kitted up, and I was going to start on my birthday, and I started like a whole bunch of stuff for my birthday, and I didn't get to this one. So I started it for World Cross Stitch Day. This is Kathy Barrick's From Velvet to Linen. I love this pattern. And I'll get you in closer. I think this one's been going around in the Flosstube world, so you've probably seen it. But I love it so much. And this was based on like a velvet painting she found, like an antique. And so I'm stitching mine on one moment. Why am I the way that I am? What am I stitching it on? Oh, it's another from that pack, the Nicholas Flamel pack, which is it's really nice fabric, and so this is 36 count, and I'm using a Victoria Clayton Silks conversion, because I just wanted to be fancy. I think it's charted in NPI Silks, or they give you the DMC conversion. So I started it in the middle because I was feeling lazy and I didn't want to count, and you know, you gotta make sure you have enough fabric, and I didn't feel like doing that, so I started it in the middle. I'm wondering, no, this is upside right. Okay, it's like, I wonder if it's upside down. Okay, so I started right in the middle. Really pleasant to stitch with all of this stuff, the fabric and the threads. And I am using 2 threads over 2. 2 over 2 is like my favorite, because I like doing the loop start. So there you have it. Actually made good progress on that one. And then my next start was because of I'm very susceptible to peer pressure. I got peer pressured into starting something for Sampler September, which was, I was actually very excited because this is something I've had kitted up again for years. And it's one of those, another Flosstuber talked about this exact pattern and said, it's such a beautiful pattern, they're intimidated to start it. And I was like, yep. And it's not hard, it's not intimidating, it's just perfect and beautiful. And I was afraid to start it. So this is Moonlight Sampler by the Blue Flower. I love it so much. And I actually took a long time kitting it up because I wanted to put it on a dark fabric so that, I'm getting closer, all these animals and the moon and the Luna moth, I wanted those to like pop out of the dark fabric. So it took me a long time to find the fabric I wanted. And then I used the called for flosses, and she calls for lots of different, what does she call for? There's a combination of like DMC, Classic Colorworks, there's a Karen Water Lilies, that might be it. Oh, and Weeks, there's Weeks Dye Works also. So I use whatever she called for. I may have to change, I lied, she did not call for Karen Water Lilies. I put those in because I needed to change this black that's like the frame and the lanterns and stuff. I realized I was going to have to change the black so it fits on my fabric. So that's why I picked Karen Water Lilies. You're not going to see, it's just black. This is coal. And then I picked Color and Cotton Rustic Black, which is, you can kind of see it's like variegated with a little bit of gray. And so that just showed up on the fabric better than whatever she had called for. And as needed as I go, I might make some changes. So anyway, I'm stitching this on, you knew I was going to go looking for it's in here though. It's called Dusk. I think I'm stitching a couple things on Dusk, honestly. Oh my gosh, I had the thing. I'm going to put it here. But it's called Dusk. So it's a very dark fabric. But I think it's doing what I want it to. So I started in that upper left corner because I wanted to get, there we go. The light just changed. I wanted to see, so like that green vine and stuff, they're going to fade into just like if you're in the dark and you're looking at stuff. I wanted that effect. And so the lighter colors will really stand out, I think. So that's the owl in the corner there. So I'm pretty excited with how it's coming out. So that's the corner I started in. Super excited. I'm going to work across the top because I want to get to that Luna moth over there. I know I could have started in that corner, but I can't, my brain, I can't stitch right to left. I can't do that. I mean, I could try, but I would make mistakes. And this one I'm doing one thread over 2 fabric threads, and this is 36 count. Whatever. I think it's Picture This Plus Dusk. I will have put it down below. So very pretty fabric. It's way bigger than I need, but I'm scared to cut it until I know for sure. I don't want to cut the fabric and then have it not be big enough. Okay. So I think, yeah, so that's it. That's all my stitching. We are coming into the witching season, the Halloween spooky season. So finally, this guy here, who's been hanging up all year, is now seasonally appropriate. And I brought my little friend over, who used to sit up here on this bookshelf. So they'll hang out until after Halloween or beyond. They'll probably be here beyond because I'm not good at moving things around. So I was going to start, throw some stuff here. I mean, we know me and plans, but this is what I want to do. Sometime around Halloween, I'm dying to start this finally. I've had this forever. I think I showed it previously. Witch's Night Out by what is it? It's Marie Driscoll, Blackberry Lane Designs, Witch's Night Out. And I have the whole kit to do this thing. And I've had it forever. I think I've had this kit for 2 years. It's on 28 count Kermit, and it's a sparkly Kermit. And you're supposed to do over 1 thread, so it's going to be basically 56 count. That's probably why I haven't started it, because I'm nervous. But I really want to stitch it. I think the stuff is in here. So I'm hoping to start this. Here's the Kermit. Look how sparkly. And then there's a little, it's probably upside down. There's some beads shaped like bats, and I think that's a crow. And it looks like they kitted it up with anchor. Oh, that'll be fun. And then this is the bell pull. It's going to be so cool. So that's my hope. And then what was the other thing? Oh, so I have something in haul that I would like to start also that I will show you. So we shall see. So, if you're not aware, and I put the things out and I can't find either one of them, coming up, here it is, coming up in a few weeks is Harvest Moon Hangout, hosted by Lindy Stitches. If you've never been to one of these events, They're really fun and they're worth every penny. They're very inexpensive. I think this one is, and how many days is it? It's September 19th through 21st, so it's 3 days. I think it's $15 for the entire weekend. So it's very affordable. It's an online event, and it's, I think if you're shy or you've never done this before, it can be intimidating. Don't be intimidated. You could actually go and still have fun and never interact with a person. I mean, you should interact with people, but if you're super shy, you can literally be there looking around and doing stuff and no one would know you were there. So it's not like you're instantly on display or your computer's, locked in or people can see you picking your nose. It's totally at your, whatever your comfort level is. And so I will admit, I was very scared the first time I went to the Jingle Ball. I was so scared to push the button to go into a room. So they have like stitchy rooms, like a Zoom where there's people on camera and stuff. And you can keep your camera off and just hang out. Usually people are stitching or talking, and so they don't even notice. You can come in and go back out. It's just like poking your head in a classroom in a big building, just poking your head and see who's in there. They also do, I'm sure there'll be a shopping hall, so you can poke around in the little shopping area. Often there are free patterns, depending on, at Jingle Ball there's definitely free patterns. I'm not sure about this one. There'll be exclusive patterns. There'll be videos you can watch. They'll have like meetups with different designers and stuff, which are cool, because it's really just them talking to you on camera, and you can type in a chat box your questions and stuff, so you don't have to worry about, they can't see you, they can't tell. You can come and go, you can eat ice cream, no one will know. So come and check it out, please, if you've never been to one of these. They're really, really fun. And of course, I'm even more excited about the Jingle Ball. That's always a huge blast. And so hopefully this time I won't get sick and I'll get to actually go in some of the stitchy rooms. So that's coming up, I think in like 2 or 3 weeks, that's happening. So I don't know what order to do stuff in. So next I have haul to show you guys, and I guess I'll just before I do haul, because I know some people don't like to watch haul, which is totally fine. I was just going to tell you about, my husband and I went to another baseball game. I just want to tell you a little story. So it was, the Blue Jays came to Denver. And if you don't know, the Blue Jays are really doing well this year. They are like on their way. And I haven't paid attention since then, but I think they're really on their way to the World Series. And it was funny because it was obviously a Rockies home game, but there were so many Blue Jays fans. It felt like a Blue Jays home game. Everyone was super nice, and it was just a fun, friendly atmosphere. So the row that my husband and I were sitting in was like the last row of the section, and there was maybe 4 empty seats between us, and this family came in, a husband and wife and like a little boy maybe 10 years old. So there's like 4 seats between us. And they are decked out in Blue Jays gear. Like they're big fans. And I think they're from around here. So they're not Canadian. They're just Blue Jay fans. And the husband and wife got up to get something to eat and left the little boy there. And the second they were gone, he turns to us and starts trash talking the Rockies. It was hilarious. And my husband, neither one of us cares that much. We just go to have fun. And I had my Rockies gear on, but my husband, he doesn't care. And he actually, when he was younger, in his like 20s, I think back a long time ago, the Blue Jays had an especially good year. I don't follow baseball, but they had like some really historic stuff, like maybe in the 80s. And he was a big fan at that time. And so he's always been kind of a little bit of a Blue Jays fan. So he was excited to see them. And so him and the kid, and like this 10-year-old kid knew all that history. And so they were like naming names and talking about stuff that happened back then. And that kid ended up coming over and sitting with us the whole game. And then like every time the Blue Jays like got a run, which was a lot, they would like high five and stuff. It was the cutest ever. So that kid just made the night so much more fun. We had a blast. So again, if you haven't been to a baseball game yet, please go. And your faith in humanity will be restored. It's not easy being a Rockies fan. But it helps if you don't care. It's just fun to go. Okay, so let's look at some haul. And if you're not going to stick around for haul, thanks so much for coming. I totally understand. I don't have a ton of haul. I'm trying to be good and not spend as much money. I'm trying to use stuff I already have. But I did buy a lot at the Midsummer Stitch. And in my defense, a lot of it I bought for other people. So I don't have that stuff with me because I sent it off. But I did get a few things for myself from the shopping haul. I was talking about cicadas, and they had this bag that has a cicada on it. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it, but obviously I had to buy this bag. It's so cute, and you know, inside, I don't know, it's got room for, it's probably for pencils or something, but I don't know what I'm doing with it, but I'm happy to have it. And then, let's see, of course I had to buy Stitchy Bug by Boomerang Stitches. So if you lose your Stitchy Bug, you can always look at him for inspiration. Love that pattern. And then they had a bunch of fabrics, not just that. So Stitch Me had a exclusive fabric for Midsummer Stitch called Midsummer. So I got 40 count. I'll just open it up for you. Why not? Look how pretty this is. I mean, and it's a little bit washed out in the camera, so it's even darker than that. So I think that would be perfect for, I don't know, something, lots of stuff. Some of my friends are doing like Christmas and Halloween designs on it, with which you wouldn't think immediately, but actually they work really nicely on this fabric. So I'm not sure what I'm doing with mine. I just hoarded it like a dragon. And then they had some other fabrics there. This is Lap and Loops. Oh, actually this one, hold on, that's not the one. Okay, this one they had on the shopping haul. This is Fiber on a Whim Plum, and I got 32 count. I can open it up a little bit. Oh, I love purple. And I think I got this there. I've had a lot of fabric out because I was trying to figure out what fabrics to use for some patterns, and then I got confused. So I think I got this at Midsummer Stitch. I don't remember. This is Fiber on a Whim's Kunzite. Pretty sure I got it there. And then if you were there, one of the fabric dyers they had, Lap and Loops, it's a husband and wife team, and they had them do a little meet and greet. They are so charming. I had so much fun, and I'm desperate for them to do a Flosstube, but I'm sure that they just don't have time. But they are just like, it's the kind of small business that you're so excited that they're doing really well and very successful, because they are just really charming, fun, interesting people. Wish them all the best. And so I went to lindystitches.com, and of course Steph has tons of their fabric. And so I bought quite a bit because they were, of course, showing all their fabrics and stuff, and I got excited. So this I had to buy for the name alone. This is Mothman. And it's coming out, it's not quite this bright purple. In real life, it's a little, if you talk about tones, like this is, it's a little more cool than this. But it's just a beautiful fabric. Let's just open it up further. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So this is Mothman, and I got 40 count of that. So I'm not sure, I got confused over what did I get at Midsummer Stitch and what did I buy later from Lindy Stitches. Oh, this I think I got at Midsummer Stitch. This is Fiber on a Whim Hydrangea, 40 count. All of a sudden, I'm buying all this purple. This is, sorry for the crinkle, but I should take these out of the bag. This is Grandpa's Shop Rag by Lap and Loops, 32 count. Let's just open it up. Oh, I love this fabric. Look at that. Very nice. And then, oh, this is ridiculous how much of this fabric I bought. But it's hard to find. I like to find grays that are more like blue gray rather than yellow gray, if that makes sense. And it seems like mostly out there is the yellowish grays. So I was excited to get this. Is Smoke by Lap and Loops, and it's definitely more of a blue tone gray. 40 count. Oh, it's a Campfire Smoke, sorry. Campfire Smoke. And then this is, I'm such a sucker for names. Like, obviously I still have to like it, but if you name something cool, I'm gonna like it even more. This is Tea Earl Grey Hot. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. And there's a bunch of stuff in this bag here. Oh dear. Okay, so I bought a couple little kits. This is a Mill Hill Buttons and Beads Winter Woodpecker, and Steph had this on sale, so couldn't resist. It's a little downy woodpecker. So cute. And then this is a kit. I couldn't resist. It's so different. This is by, I don't know if it's Abris or Abris. A-B-R-I-S. Abris Art. And they're a Ukrainian kit making company, and Steph sells these now. This particular one is called Daughter of the Moon. And I just couldn't resist. That is so different. It's really beautiful. She has a bunch of kits like this on her website. It's really fun to look through them all. And this is, I think it's beaded. Is it beaded? Or did I just make that up? I don't know. But I love the owl. I'll get you in closer for some detail. I don't know why I picked that one when I could pick this one. Here you go. So pretty. I'm gonna leave out, there's like astrological signs in the sky. I'm just gonna leave those out. I just like the moon and the dark sky and stuff. So cool. And it's a nice kit. Since I've already opened it, I can show it to you. I obviously can't show you the pattern, but the pattern is very clear and easy to read. It's big, like it's bigger than the actual fabric. I don't know if it's full coverage, so I might not bother changing the fabric. That's the fabric that came with it. And then here's the, without messing them up too much, there's the thread. So they're already on drop, so you can just get started. Really pretty. I just love a kit. It's just so nice. Everything's already there, ready for you. What else is in here? Oh, another one of these. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I bought from Steph. And then, sorry, this is going to be crinkly. I'm still in the Be Stitch Me Fabric of the Month Club, and I'm greedy, so I'm in both clubs, the neutrals and the brights. So this is July. You've probably already seen these. This is What the Hay. And then this is, look at that, Watermelon Slushy. It's so bright. Oh, love it. And then this is August. We've got Peanut. And then this is so pretty too, Jack-o'-lantern. I love an orange fabric. Love it. And then, so I lurk on the, there's a, if you're on the Reddit website, there's a cross-stitch subreddit. And I just lurk on there, and people show cool stuff. And this, and I don't feel comfortable, like, I don't want to show someone else's work without asking their permission. But this woman had done this pattern so good, and she had already fully finished them, and she put pictures up. I was so jealous. Like, I want this in my house. So this is by Box and Fox on Etsy. And the pattern originally came like this. These goofy cat. I mean, oh, I love these cats. It reminds me of, in the 70s and 80s, this kind of illustrated stuff was really popular. And so you could get stuff like this on like coffee mugs and everything. It was just everywhere. And then even in museums and stuff, like modern art museums, they had cool, funky stuff like this. This just reminds me of 70s stuff. And the woman who stitched these, she did each one individually. And then she framed them with like, so like, see how this cat has mostly orange and a little bit of this teal. So she would maybe do a teal matte and a little square. They came out so good. Like so she had like 3 different color mattes depending on the cat, and they were just perfect. So I had to get it for myself because it just screams, you know, late 70s, early 80s to me. And then this designer has a bunch of cool stuff. So, and they were like on sale. So this one, I saw this bird. Sorry to lick my finger to get the paper apart. I saw this bird, and I was like, oh, he's cool. But then she has a whole set, and I'm a sucker for a set. So she had a whole set of them. There's this guy. So, and they're, even though the picture's really, they're actually small, so they come out really cute and small. Wouldn't they be cute, like all stitched up, like with 4 frames all together? That'd be so cute. And then I couldn't resist. These would be pretty with like some over-dyed threads. All the different cats. I mean, she really did a good job with the, like, you know, cat poses. And then this is the one I got most excited about. Oh my god, he's so cute. You know, I love an orange cat. And I love when they do that with their leg and you want to grab their leg. So I can't wait to get started on him, and I think it'd be fun to get over-dyed threads, all the different colors. He is just too funny. So Box and Fox on Etsy. And then one last thing. Again, on that same cross-stitch subreddit, someone showed this as a finish, and I had never seen this pattern before. It's a Dimensions kit. Dimensions Gold Collection. I think it's an out-of-print kit because I had to find it on eBay. But then when I went looking for it, because it looked beautiful, she did it as kitted. And then when I went looking for it, okay, I'll show it to you. So here it is finished. You know I love a cat and flowers, right? I had never seen this one anywhere. Here it is up close. So when I was looking for it, someone else from the same cross-stitch Reddit, I was looking to buy it, and it came up on Google. Someone stitched just the foreground, the flowers and the cat. So they didn't do any of, because this background is all, you know how Dimensions does stuff. So the background is almost entirely filled in, but they give you like a navy fabric. But they had done this on a light green fabric, like a gray green, you know, and didn't do the background. And the whole thing just popped off. It was incredible. I mean, this is beautiful as it is. But I want to do it the way that person did it, with you let the fabric be basically the wallpaper behind the scene. And so that's why I had all that fabric out, because I've been trying, like, you know, all these colors, because a lot of them would look good. Like I have all these purples I can try, and gray and stuff. So I can't decide, but I really want to start this right away. If you just Google, so it's called Dimensions Garden in Gold. There's the name. So I don't feel comfortable like taking someone else's stuff and putting it on my Flosstube. So, because I'd love to show it to you. But if you Google it, it'll probably pop up. And the cat, they changed the cat to look like their cat. So it's like a black or chocolate gray or chocolate brown kind of cat. It's gorgeous. So I'm super excited. Of course, you know I'm going to leave this cat orange. I do love an orange cat. And if you want to see the threads, I know I like looking at threads when y'all show threads. So here's all. I think what I'm gonna do, they're so long. I think I'm gonna cut this apart and then put these on thread drops and like stick that on there. I don't know, so I can still have the instructions. See, it tells you stuff. I can't read it because it's backwards to me. It tells you stuff. So anyway. Then I'll have like, what, 3 cat cross-stitch kits going at the same time. So I think that's all the stitching I have to show you. I know I try to do like inspirational stuff at the end of videos. Instead today, I want to talk about stretching, because I do lurk on lots of different cross-stitch discussion places, and a lot of times people will talk about their hands hurt because you get so excited, you don't want to stop stitching. And like something I was stitching on recently, oh, the 100 Owls. I think because it's more of an even weave fabric, and somehow, I don't know, whatever it is, and I don't want to change needle sizes, but my hands were kind of hurting, and it reminded me. So it's one of those things you guys know about stretching and stuff. You know how important it is, but we all forget. So here's your stretching reminder. And it doesn't have to be like, oh, I have to stop in 10 minutes and do this and it's boring. You can just do it whenever you think of it. Do a couple stretches, and it becomes a habit, and you do it without even knowing you're doing it anymore, if that makes sense. And the reason I know stretching is important, years ago in college, I worked at this, for like a part-time job, I worked at this assembly, like a factory that made, it made signs, like sports signs where they flip over and the numbers and stuff. So we were like putting pieces of little things together. So it wasn't strenuous. You were sitting down and it was almost like, it was the same hand movements as putting Legos together. So it wasn't hard, but when you do it over and over for hours, it can cause repetition injuries and stuff. So they would make us every hour, we'd all have to stand in a circle, and they'd have us do hand stretches. And we were like, this is lame, because we were young and immortal, And one day, I forget why, there was a reason I missed some of the stretching. I had to go do something else or whatever. And I could feel it immediately. With my young, healthy hands, I really felt pain that day that I didn't stretch. So I was just going to tell you a couple hand stretches. The easiest one, and you don't have to do it, at least do it once an hour, but like whenever you think of it, or you put your thread down, or, you're watching something on TV, you have to look up and pay attention for a minute. The easiest stretch is just doing that with your hands. And remember, while there's no rules in cross stitch, there are rules in stretching. The one rule in stretching is if it hurts, you're doing it wrong. So you just do it gently and slowly until it, don't make yourself uncomfortable. But if you just do like this, open your hands as wide as they go, and then you can, with your fingers, just gently, and you can do individual fingers, especially like my right thumb gets stiff. Don't look at my right thumb, it's ugly. I have an ugly thumb. If you just gently do like this. When I was years and years ago, I took Aikido, and they would have us do stretching of our wrists and stuff, because we would do holds on your arms and wrist. And the way to avoid injury is to stretch. And so I have to do it up in front of the camera, gently, especially with your wrist, but you take one hand and the other hand, and you're going to tilt that hand up and kind of back around. So you're going like this in a circular motion. So you're tilting this hand up, or like on this way. So this is the hand I'm stretching, and I just grab this hand gently and gently turn your wrist. And if it starts hurting, stop. So you do these slowly, but if you do them a little bit, and it does help to go like in a circular motion like this, like you're, turning a gear. But it really helps to have looser stretched wrists. And then here's another one you can do. And you'd have this down further, but I have to be in front of the camera. You'd have it more in front of your, chest. But this is the hand you're stretching, and you're just gently going like this. So just gently, not too much. You're just pushing down on your hand like this. And stretching your wrists like that, like I said, any stretching you do makes you stretchier and really can help prevent injuries. So there's all kinds of whole body stretches, just to remind you. I know you guys know this already. But if you find YouTube videos and stuff and just do the stretching, usually they have you warm up first, because when you're warmer, things are more pliable. Especially as we get older, and I'm reminding myself this as well, because I have not been good about stretching as we get older too, but the stretchier and bendier you are, if you should fall or, yank something, try to pick up something heavy, or twist yourself the wrong way, if you're stretchier and you've been stretching a lot, you're less likely to hurt yourself. And we learned that in Aikido, because the big muscular guys, the ones who were like bodybuilders and stuff, they were not stretchy. They were very stiff, and it was easier to hurt them they just didn't bend certain ways, if that makes any sense. And so, like, if you think of like a big, funnily enough with Aikido, the bigger and stronger the attacker is, the easier it was because their center of gravity is higher and they weren't as stretchy. So you could make things like some of the grips we would twist someone's wrist or whatever. You can easily hurt a guy full of muscle by by twisting and stuff. It's easier because their muscles are, I don't know, holding things too tight or something. So anyway, I'm just telling you that so you know. Stretchier is healthier. How do you like that for a statement? Stretchier is healthier. So if you think of it, do your stretches, especially with your hands, so that you feel good when you're cross-stitching, because that's the most important thing, is that we can keep stitching. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're having good weather, and if it's cold where you are, I hope you're warm, and if it's hot where you are, I hope you're cool. And the next time we see each other, it'll be even closer to Halloween, which I'm excited about because I love Halloween. And don't forget, if you're interested in coming to one or more of our Zoom stitching meetups, please let me know. We're always excited to meet new people and to see the old folks again. And thanks so much for hanging out with me. Okay,